Welcome back to my Age of Wonders 3 Wasteland Campaign walkthrough. This map here is, last map we did was 3A Perilous Alliances, and this map is 4A Desert Warfare. And so it's turn 60, could have beaten it several turns ago, but I wanted to fully explore the map. And so I will walk through some of the key things. So you start here in the bottom left-hand corner. It's a pretty heavy income at the end of it, all things. Early on, you can take a nomadic outlaw dwelling. And one of the things that I like about this is the criminal syndicate is the plus 10 gold, plus 10 research. That's just very useful. I didn't do it in this one, but in the next map, being able to produce the Watchmen who get a 20% physical buff. I guess I'll probably show the attributes for that unit in the next video, so we'll hold off on that. But yeah, so this is where we started with that and what I had built. So simple, like growth-oriented stuff, and then you can see what we've got there. And so I think I planted rather than took over the city. I think I settled this, and has a fair amount of infrastructure. A lot of this infrastructure was built late in the game, so that I could try and go for whatchamacallit, grand palaces, just to be able to boost the casting points late game. But those were late game decisions. I basically planted a lot of cities. So some of these existed, but I planted a lot of them just to churn my economy, especially with the plus 10 from the Warlord Empire upgrade. So I have a bunch of simple cities planted. You can see they have a storehouse to grow, and then maybe a laboratory because it's pretty cheap to build into. And what else do I want to show? So basically, this is my ally. So we've got an ally here who didn't do much the whole game, mostly defended their territory while I pushed on ahead. And so basically, you clear up this, and then you run into some ally held or some like this territory here is held by someone where it's ambiguous as to whether it's an ally or an enemy, because they're a nomad and they kind of claim to be friendly. But then underground, if you push past their borders, you look down, you see a lot of ice stuff. So there was 1 or 2 clans of frostlings down here that could be taken out. And so it kind of starts to reveal some of the storyline around how you saw those little inklings of ice in the last 2 maps. Here you can see that they're in this like sinister alliance with frostlings, and kind of it's foreshadowing some of the backstabbing that's going to occur. And so there's some powerful frostlings under here. And so basically you stream up through here, and there's this gray fog forms an edge here. So you have to go up and around and across the top of the map, and then down into here. And then there's this group of wacky animals that I never got too close to, so they didn't bother me, so I was able to take this city. There's a cave entrance there, which I'll show off in a second, and then borders here that you're not really meant to go down in here, but because I was able to fly over, I did to explore some of the stuff that was being built down here. It's got like a seal and stuff like that, and ruins. So I think this is stuff still being built by the author, but it was kind of interesting to take a sneak peek. And a lot of these places, they have like cave entrances, and so you can go above ground, then you got to go back down and then back up. And so I fully explored everything as much as I could. And then this is what it looks like underneath. So there's that frostling stuff over here. A little navigation you could do around here. This was Tanner is an ally under here who has this city. There were these things here, which is the last city that I took. There were like, there's some storyline stuff where like part of the mission, so yeah, find the prison. And so like there are prisoners here, like just these NPCs. They didn't join you this battle, but when you came across them, they're like, oh, thank you for rescuing me, blah, blah, blah. But you're supposed to defeat the war chief, defeat that person, and then whatever those wells are. So there's some stuff around that. And then what else do I want to show in terms of research? Because it's pretty late game and I was drawing it out to be able to fully explore the map. I got pretty deep into the tech tree, but you can see what I have available. Summon Obsidian Dragons. This became available pretty late in the game, and so I was starting to summon Obsidian Dragons, which was useful. I didn't use these late game spells. Stuff was kind of mostly over before I had a chance to use most of the late game stuff. Seeing if there's anything of interest. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And so it was doing a lot of summoning Obsidian Dragon. And let's check out my units. So here's let's see where my leader is at. So at this point, I've got the +3, sometimes +2. I've got the Bulwark Shield that you know about, high morale. So let's see, that's pretty strong. The Lucky, so that the high morale lets the Lucky proc a ton. We got the +2 still, this for the defense and a little bit of movement, a nice mount to give some extra blight protection, which there is a fair bit of blight you're running into. Inflict Ghoul Curse was something that I was thinking about using, but I wouldn't be able to heal the undead, and so I didn't end up putting this to much use. But I did have a seduce mechanism like I've talked about before, and I could swap in like a blight protection if I needed to get my blight protection up higher. I had a shock protection item if I needed to boost my shock protection to 100%. And so I had some customizability, which proved useful at certain points. Champ 1. Champ 6, so that's 157, which is pretty strong HP wise. Sorry about that, got distracted by something else. So yeah, Champ 6, pretty tasty. Champ 3 on that for 165. In terms of abilities, that's of note. The Lucky, the Shield, Toughness, Blood Brothers, Tireless, Overwhelming. So this guy at the 22 defense, a little bit of boosted, especially thanks to that Empire upgrade. So I didn't have much resistance, but I was getting percentage resistances against key things, which was really useful. Where else? Where else are my peeps? Oh, the other weird thing is when I started off here, you start off, or no, is that the last map? I'm not sure, I can't remember. Let's see what else. Yeah, that, I can't remember if I started with a mounted archer or not. Oh, here's these watchmen I wanted to talk about. So naturally with no buffs, 17 and 12, and on top of the 17, they got physical protection. Sun Shield, I assume the +2 is baked into this. I'm not sure, but that's there. And then the tireless, all the typical stuff there. Total awareness, overwhelm. So it's a pretty strong tier 3, like mini dwelling unit. So it's kind of interesting. From that, so yeah, the martial arts training. So this pretty tanky unit. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to play with. Yeah, just caught a baby reed serpent early and leveled that up. Champ 1 on this tiger and monster hunter. Where else were my units? It's a knight. Yeah, here were some of my. I think they gave me. I think we started with a war breed. I don't think I can't remember, but I mean, I love the regrowth on these guys. So you got 170 health. 20% of 170 is a huge number. So he was just regenerating so much. So he was always tanking at the start of battle. Champ 2 on those guys. Champ 2 on these guys with the stun. So they were some early troops for me. And all these like rocks were late game stuff, just while I was twiddling my thumbs, moving guys around towards victory. That's all that was being produced. I didn't have that for the vast majority of the campaign. Do I have? Feel like. Right. Okay, so this guy, level 3, these are really, for tier 2s, they're excellent. And then this is my rogue character, so we'll check out this rogue. So he's got the +3 lightning and the call lightning. He's got a nice shield, the high morale here, the embrace fire. That's just for like that turn. So if you're going to charge into somebody and don't want to take as much damage and do a little extra damage, it's good for that. The strong will, because he wasn't riding in the same stack as the warlord with the blood brothers. Syron's wail and a little bit of res. Saw that before. Shock protection and defense, and just flying mount. Some heal, and then this is a lifesteal, which I end up putting on my main hero for the next map because he's got the tireless ability, and then you put the lifesteal on that, and they can just chew through waves of enemies. So we got split from the stack, but he was riding with my leader for a long time. Again, still has the shadow form. Throw curse from items. Counter poison knowledge for movement. For strike, total awareness, weapon finesse. Yep, all that stuff. So I think that's all I need to show. I founded 13 cities. Yeah, I should be showing that on everyone. So a ton of city founding. I migrated 12 cities to Nomad, and of course through all that migration, I migrated away from a ton of humans. Pretty happy empire, pretty strong production wise. It's a good snapshot of the units and heroes and some of the stuff that was pictured. A few authority of the swords to increase the domain radius of some key cities. So yeah, I think that is everything I need to show there. What about battles? I don't know that I had a super tasty battle that I needed to show from this one. I don't think. So yeah, I don't think there's anything super fascinating. So I'm going to cap it there. What, we're at 15 minutes? Yeah, that's fine. So again, this has been looking at mission 4A in the Wastelands campaign, the mod, and in the next video, which will be my final video, it will be on Horn of Kesh, the final mission. And I don't know if it's 6A, 6B, or 6C. I don't know which one, because they're all by the same name, but it was one of those Horn of Kesh by Reynald, so it was 6A, 6B, or 6C. And again, like I didn't play like any other of the B's or C's or D's, and I didn't do Mission 5A Sundren's Revenge because those were not a part of the version that I downloaded when I downloaded it a year and a half ago or something. So yeah, so I'm going to talk about the final mission, Horn of Kesh, which was a part of this update version that I have, and then we will wrap up the series. So see you then.